Another style of hearing aid that you may consider would be a behind-the-ear hearing aid. Behind-the-ear hearing aids have come a long way since even 5 years ago. They themselves come in different sizes depending on your hearing loss. The most popular hearing aid would be called receiver in the canal or open fit hearing aid. So what it is the hearing aid itself just tucks behind your ear, and then you have a little wire that comes down, and this is the receiver that goes inside your ear canal. So when somebody looks at you, basically they wouldn't be able to tell that you're wearing a hearing aid. Also, these type of hearing aids work really well for people that have a high frequency hearing loss, which is usually as a result of working in noisy environments, and you hear really well at the low bassy sounds. So you find like you can hear a fan blowing, you can hear a fridge humming, but you're having difficulties understanding what people are saying. These type of hearing aids work very well for that situation, because they emphasize the high frequencies and they don't close up your ear canal, so you can still hear natural sounds with your own normal hearing. The other more traditional behind-the-ear hearing aid has more volume, more power, and this hearing aid, once again, the hearing aid itself is tucked behind your ear, and they are much smaller than what they used to be, but they do have a lot more volume than all the other hearing aids that we've looked at. The difference with the behind-the-ear hearing aid is now that you have a tube that goes down from the hearing aid, and then you have to have a custom ear mold made. So it's a piece that sits inside your ear to bring the sound from the hearing aid inside your ear canal. This type of hearing aid is more for people that have a severe to profound hearing loss. So this is someone that would have great difficulties following conversation, even in quiet environments. They always feel like people need to speak up. If somebody talks without them wearing their hearing aids, they would feel more like they're whispering or they sound far away. So with the behind the ear type of hearing aids, such as the open fit hearing aids, cleaning it's easier. You would have to just open the battery door at the bottom of the hearing aid to make sure that the battery is turned off. And the receiver itself, the part that goes inside your ear, you would use a wet cloth to wipe it. And once in a while, you may have to take this dome off the hearing aid. So you'd use your fingernail to push it up, pull it off. And inside it, there's a little white cap. It's kind of like a filter. So you want to make sure that that filter is clean. So you can use your wire loop to go inside to clean it. But if there's too much wax or debris inside the filter, you need to change it. So to change it, you just use your filter. On this particular filter, there's two prongs. One is empty and one has a new filter on it. So you use the empty one just to push it in and you pull it out. And when you pull it out, basically that's the receiver itself. And now you take the other part and you insert it, push it in, and there you go. It's a brand new filter and it's ready to go. Then you would have to make sure that you put your dome back on. So you take your dome, you push it in, make sure it goes all the way in. And a guideline would be there's usually a red line or a blue line on your receiver, so you want to make sure that the dome is pushed all the way to that line. You flip it over and your hearing aid should be ready to go. With the traditional behind-the-ear hearing aid, it's much easier as far as maintenance. And the reason why is because the hearing aid sits behind your ear. Therefore, it's not affected by moisture or wax that's happening inside your ear. So the ear mold itself, you would take a cloth and just wipe it to clean it. You can use the wire loop to clean it inside. So just like with the other hearing aids, you want to go inside the receiver tube where the sound comes out of and flick it to make sure that it's clear. If there's too much wax inside here and you know that you're not able to get it out, what you would need to do is take the tube, the ear mold apart from the hearing aid. So you just pull it apart and you can take the ear mold itself and just run some warm water through it and also some hand soap. Once you rinse it out, just let it air dry on the counter, and then once it's dry and you notice there's no moisture inside it, you would just hook it back up. And when you put it back together, you always want to make sure that the round part of the ear mold matches with the curve of the hearing aid. Therefore, when you go to put it in your ear, it's always in the right direction. As with all the other hearing aids, you always want to make sure that you open the battery door at night so that you get more life out of your batteries. With the open fit type hearing aids, there's two different ways that you can insert the hearing aid in your ear. One way is to you put the hearing aid itself on top of your ear first, and then you insert the dome inside your ear. So this is what you would do. You would hold the hearing aid either with your right hand or left hand, whichever you're comfortable with. But you want to make sure that the dome is facing towards your cheek, because that's where your ear canal is. So you take the hearing aid and you slide it on top of your ear. So you can just dangle like that. And now the earpiece is automatically in the right direction. So you can use your fingers and just push it in a little bit. You won't be able to get it in all the way by using your fingers. You have to let go, then use your point finger and you just push inside the receiver. And then there's a little anchor here, and that's just to hold it in place a bit, that you just push inside your ear just like that. If you're having it, and you want to always double check in the mirror to make sure that it's in properly. If it sticks out, so if you put it in but you can see the wire sticking out a little bit, then you need to readjust it. So you need to push it in further, because it may get caught into a comb or your hand or something, and the hearing aid can fly off your ear. A second way of inserting this type of hearing aid would be to put the earpiece inside your ear first and then the hearing aid behind. So some people are more comfortable to insert the dome inside the ear first, just like that, and then just flip it over, push your ear out of the way, and it just sits on top of your ear. And just like before, once it's in, you want to make sure that the little wire is tucked inside your ear, and this wire here is nice and flat. To remove the hearing aid, all you would need to do is just find the wire itself, and you just grab it and pull it out. This is the open fit hearing aid. The traditional type behind the ear hearing aid, BTE, basically the same thing. You want to make sure that the hearing aid is tucked behind your ear and the ear mold goes inside your ear canal. So you can take the hearing aid, put it behind your ear, and now the ear mold is already going the right direction, so you just have to grab it, and usually you can grab it onto the tube itself and just insert it in your ear. And you want to make sure it's nice and flat. You use your finger to push at the bottom so that it goes in as far as it can. And then in this area, you want to make sure that it is nicely tucked in. There's nothing sticking out. So with the behind the ear hearing aids, as you can tell, once you have your hair over, you can't even see that you're wearing a hearing aid. To remove the hearing aid, you just flip the hearing aid over. You can use your thumb to grab onto the ear mold and pull it out. Also, you can grab onto the tube itself if it's a hard ear mold that you're using. If it's a soft ear mold, you can pull onto the tube because it'll just come out of the ear mold. So then you have to use your thumb to go underneath it to pull it out. A second way of putting the behind the ear hearing aid inside your ear is you hold on to the earpiece itself. You put it inside your ear. And once you feel that it's nicely secured in your ear, you can see the hearing aid is just dangling, but it wouldn't come off. You would just take the hearing aid and you just slide it behind your ear. To remove the hearing aid, best way to do it is use your thumb, push up and out, and it takes the ear mold out. And that's the behind the ear hearing aid.